You are listening to
Comedy Club for Kids presents
Christmas Radio Nonsense! Christmas Radio Nonsense!
Christmas Radio Nonsense!
Christmas Radio Nonsense! Christmas Radio Nonsense! Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navimum, Feliz Navi grown-ups, Yuletide greetings, me-tide greetings, and we-tide greetings. No, wait, that last one sounds a bit disgusting. Sorry, what I mean is, welcome to the Christmas special Radio Nonsense. The official Comedy Club for Kids podcast that is suitable for everyone of all ages from... and to... and everything in between. I am Tiernan, or at this time of the year, Christmas Cheerman. No, probably just Tiernan, actually. I'm worried I won't get my post if I change my name right now, and I've got a few cards I'd quite like to get. How are you out there, or in there, or out there, in there? I don't know where you are, but I hope you're all ready for your winter break, and you're doing those fun last few days at school where all you do is watch films and stick bits of glittery things to other things, and your teacher tries not to fall asleep. We've got our tree up. And it's apparently a non-drop tree, but I've managed to push it over 3 times now, so I don't think that's true, and I kind of want my money back. I've decorated it, which is, it takes ages, doesn't it, decorating a tree? It's very hard painting each of those tiny pines with both a gloss and matte coat. I have to use a really small brush, and I started way back in November and only just finished. Very boring, but it does look very lovely, and that is what it's about, right? I've also been singing all my favourite Christmas songs a lot. I don't know which ones you like. What are your favourites? Yeah? Well, my favourite one is about the medieval knight who doesn't speak but is super deadly and then sadly gets attacked a lot with swords. Do you know that one? Silent night, holy night. That was brilliant. And then my other favourite is the one about the blue whale having a snooze. Do you know that one? That one, I love that one. A whale in a manger, you can just see its head. How did such a massive sea mammal fit in a tiny baby's bed? No, it's brilliant. It's proper, makes me really festive, that one. I love it. Oh, and also that one about the tiny, tiny royalty. You know, we 3 kings. Or maybe, hang on, maybe it's about kings who we. Well, that's a bit horrible. Anyway, some Christmas songs and poems I don't get, though. Night Before Christmas, I don't understand. A night before Christmas and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. But creatures don't stir, do they? They haven't even got thumbs. How do they hold a spoon? What are they making when they do stir? And why do they say not even a mouse? Are mice known for, like, really loving baking? And if that's true, why do they keep running into people's houses and stealing food like, you know, cereal or bits like that? And they could just make some really nice cakes. It's very silly. Silly, silly, silly. Anyway, look, this here is a special Christmas episode just for you, brilliant listeners, with a very special guest. But before we get to that, I just wanted to say a big Christmas thank you for listening to the show and sending in so many good questions over the past year. And also so many good jokes like this from Kaylin. Why was the naughty one-eyed snowman excited about his present on Christmas? It was coal! Hooray! Excellent joke, Kaylin. Also, I mean... it is a joke, it's very funny, but I wonder if it's also possibly a true tale, as that one-eyed snowman would be really excited about getting an eye for Christmas, more than, say, getting an iPad, I reckon, especially as snowmen have only got sticks for arms, so it'd be really hard to use an iPad without scratching the screen. It'd be a real nightmare. Must be a nightmare being a snowman. Anyway, then we also had this from Alexandra. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because it was playing Crossy Road! Yeah, hilarious. Thanks, Alexandra. Excellent. If a chicken was playing Crossy Road, do you think it would play as the chicken? Like, maybe it could do practice runs for itself crossing the road in real life. Or maybe it would get its own back for years of jokes at its expense and play as the duck. Who knows? But if you have chickens, or you know chickens, or you see a chicken, or you've heard about a chicken in a book, do ask them. Please let me know. Do write in. I've also had some messages in from Kezia saying my favourite soups are chili and potato soup, which sounds amazing to me. That sounds properly delicious. It should be called like chiltato? Patilli? Anyway, I love chili, but not being chilly, which is confusing, isn't it? Because when people go, brrr, it's chilly outside, they should mean, it means when I go out, my mouth's on fire and my bum is burning. But what they actually mean is I'm a bit cold. But then a chili pepper is hot and it isn't cold. It should be a really cold pepper. Anyway, I'm just saying, I think we need a new word for one of these things so it stops getting quite so confusing. Linda, can you write down that we need a new word for chili or chili? Linda, where is Linda? Who is Linda? Oh, maybe she's on Christmas holidays already. Yeah, That makes sense. I've also had this in from Olive, who is 4, but she doesn't say for what. So I don't know if she's Olive for better hats for everyone, for fewer goats. I don't know. Please let us know, Olive. Please do write in and let us know. And Olive says that her made-up word is "Who's stealing my meatball?" Which is great. I don't know why you've sent that in, but I'm really pleased that you have, and I hope that now maybe that'll become everyone's favourite Christmas catchphrase. It'd be brilliant. Like, if somebody goes "Merry Christmas," maybe just go "Who's stealing my meatball?" and just say it's brilliant. I think that's possibly from our meatball-based episode that was quite a while back, but I appreciate Olive that you've kept that alive and keep shouting it. Thank you very much for listening in. And don't forget that we'll return with more podcasts next year. So if you have a question, a joke, a soup, a made-up word, or really anything else that you'd like me to know at all, please do get your nearest Windy Krampus knees, sorry, grown-ups, to help you email us at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. And now, have you been badly good this year, or goodly bad, or bodily greed? Well, our next guest is going to know for sure. Here is a very Christmas special question answerer just for you.
When there's a riot in the toy department, the kids have chased Santa Claus into a closet.
I am joined on today's very, very special Christmas show by Father Christmas, a.k.a. Saint Nick, a.k.a. Santa Claus, a.k.a. Cinty McCrimbo, a.k.a. Daddy Festive Pants, a.k.a. Big Beardy Boy, a.k.a. Jimmy 12 Hot Chocolates, a.k.a. King of the Flame Lemurs. I don't really know what that one's about. And of course, all of our listeners will know you as the winner of the Quieter Shouting Championships every year from 1873 to right up to 2021. Also, you're the inventor of the innovative elf recycler, which I might ask you, it sounds a bit... Anyway, and most famously, the first person to ever frighten a yogurt. Welcome, Father Christmas. It's lovely to have you here.
Hello, Tiernan, and may I say, to start off with, ho, ho, ho.
Ah, you did it. I didn't want to ask you to do the catchphrase. You know, I felt like, is this something everyone always asks
if
you?
I don't.
Yeah.
People will get very angry if I don't. I have to do that. I have to do that, or I get lots of letters. Very angry letters these days. People are very cross online.
But are you still happy doing it? Because, sometimes you get those bands and they don't like playing the one song that everyone loves them to play. Do you feel like you'd like to change it up, or you know?
I mean, I've been through phases, Tin. I've been through phases where I've around the 1870s, I got a bit miffed with the whole ho 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 thing. Always having to do it whenever I walked into a room. Always having to do it when something funny happened. Always having to do it when something tragic happened, and I had to somehow break the tension. But then in the late 1800s, I just got my ho 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 mojo back on.
Amazing.
Ho, 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 mojo.
And have you ever experimented with anything, because sometimes people like a rebrand, sometimes people try something else. It's always been ho, 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 but have you ever thought, do you know what, I'm going to try something
around that time, 1870s, I think it was 1874, I think it was, I tried a little girlish giggle.
Oh.
Like, but it was off-brand. It didn't seem right.
Yes. And that must
Especially
also...
not me talking like this.
I would have thought that confused everyone around you in the workshop, because if you giggled like that, do they think, oh no, a child's got in, oh no, they're going to see all the presents, that's going to be a bit worrying.
And quite often children accidentally get into the present bag and run around, and then there's a red alert. And so for basically 10 solid years, when I was girlishly giggling instead of saying ho ho ho, we were on constant high alert at the North Pole. It was a terrible misstep, and I'd gone straight back to the ho ho ho. Thank you very much indeed.
Yes.
Ho ho ho.
Oh, it's good.
There you are. There's another one for you. That one's free, Tiernan.
Oh, well, thank you. That was. Oh, will they cost from now on, or is that?
Oh yes, no, I'm invoicing for the first 3. Yes.
Oh right. Oh, I didn't realize. Is that? Okay, sure. Well, look, I'll wait. I mean, I'm so pleased to have you on this podcast despite your busy schedule. I will. I'll come to that later. I'll ignore that for now, and I'll just wait to see the. I guess you got to kind of pay your staff somehow, haven't you? So.
Well, exactly. Yes, I mean, we live in an economy that won't quit, frankly, and I've got to pay the elves.
Sure. Could I ask you to refrain from further?
Or more specifically, you've got to pay the elves now.
Right. Sure.
I say ho ho
no,
ho.
I was going to say, could you not do any more, because I'm a bit worried about the bill kind of. Getting quite high. I don't know if I've just spent money on Christmas presents and things. I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
So no more.
No,
Ho,
could you not?
ho,
No,
ho.
maybe could you not do? Yeah, could you make that the
That's
last
it,
one
why
though,
not?
please? Because I'm
Okay.
I'm just a bit worried. I mean, I don't know how much. I don't even know how much they cost. I'm a bit worried. I'm guessing for a celebrity like you.
Oh, it's all in the small print. It's all in the email I sent you earlier. It's all in the small print.
Oh, is
right
it?
at the bottom.
Okay. Oh, hang on. Can I just? Sorry, do you mind? I'm just going to go back and.
£8,000.
Yeah, that's wow. Okay, that's a lot. Does it? Can I just check? Do I still have to pay if I edit them out of the recording? Or
I don't know. I don't know about that. They've never. You're recording this. Oh, it's even more. If you're
oh
recording
no.
those.
Okay. Right. Well, look. I'll just hope that the listeners to the show, I don't know, help out.
Maybe they could donate somehow. Maybe they could chip in.
Yeah,
to
they
pay for
often
your
like sending
enormous
farting animals
crippling
or
debt.
stinky hippos, or there's a variety of things they like to send in. I can probably eBay those, so I think it'll be fine.
Okay. Oh no, but I also accept those as payments.
Oh.
So, children's pictures is like it's basically it's like Bitcoin up at the North Pole.
Is it? Right. Okay. How do you?
Yeah.
Who do you exchange them with then? Just sort of those around the workshop, because that'd be hard for sort of international trade, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's the international language, children's drawings. It is. I mean, you can, if you've got a picture of a reindeer that doesn't look anything like a reindeer, it looks like a spider that's been just something horrible has happened to it and slid across. And no, those are antlers. Is that right, dear? Those you can show those to anybody in any language from anywhere, all over the world, and they will squint at it and go, "Oh,
wow!"
Knowing that a child's done it.
Wow,
beautiful thing.
What would you say is the most valuable child's drawing that you could get then?
A picture of a snowman with a pom pom for a nose that keeps on falling off.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? That is lovely. Yeah, I can imagine that's got to be pretty valuable. I guess have you got a few of those in what do you keep them in a safe or?
I keep them on the fridge,
Sure.
but to keep them safe, I've turned all the walls of the fridge inside out and wrapped it all in fragile tape.
That is fantastic. Yeah, well, I suppose you don't actually need a fridge in the North Pole, do you?
No. In fact, we keep all the things in the fridge next to the fridge, just in snow.
Sure. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Wow. Well, I mean, already I feel like I've learned quite a lot about you that I didn't know. There's a lot more to you than I think anyone expects. You know, I think we just know you as the man who somehow miraculously gets down. Still, I mean, I don't want you to give away any secrets, but that's still obviously quite a baffling element of your magic, especially now that more and more people don't have chimneys, and in fact, well, that's something we'll come to a bit later. But we know you as the man with all the presents, and obviously, as I mentioned, the elf recycler inventor, and the person who frightens yogurt, and that's what everyone around the world knows you for. And but I didn't, we didn't know these other bits. It's amazing.
The thing is with the record of frightening yogurts. Anybody who's trying to break a world record of any sort, start small. I started with those little cartons of yop, and worked up to some of those probiotic ones. And I alarmed them. I didn't quite frighten them early on, but then you build up, and now I'm on to entire fruit corners.
It's quite incredible. Is it that you don't like yogurts, you want to scare them, or is it you hoping if you scare one enough it'll become cheese? What's the aim with this?
I just want to at some point to make them so scared that they jump into my mouth. I really like yogurt, and if I can make one so alarmed that they and jump out of the pot into my mouth, then that would save on my spoon cleaning bill, which is astronomical.
Oh, I bet, and probably, I mean, even with the ho 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 invoicing, it's probably hard to counter. By the way, it is trademarked. The ho ho ho's. So when you say it, you have to pay me as well. Oh, right.
So that's another.
What's the safest way to refer to it? Is it the H laugh, the ho times 3, the
No, not that.
No. What shall I go for it?
You can go.
Yeah. Right.
Or he or hi. Although in Japanese, that's also mine. So if we're in Japan, I'd be able to invoice for hi.
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know what that means in Japanese. But yes, it's I've got it covered. Basically, there's no real way out of it. You're going to be.
I'll try and find alternative ways to reference it if we need to reference it from now, or maybe we just don't. Maybe we, I didn't get anything from your kind of PR. There weren't any sort of rules about questions I shouldn't ask. But
Oh no, you could ask me anything at all, but there will be an invoice to follow.
Right, sure, okay, all right. Well, let's start. Let's start very simple then. How are you? This is a busy time of year for you. You've got a lot going on.
I'm very well. It's been I've had an absolute delightful time. We've been incredibly busy. We've only got a few days till the big push. And I am hoping to get a PlayStation for Christmas.
Oh wow! How does that work? Do you have to give it to yourself, or do you have your own
I have
special...
to be really, really good, incredibly good.
Yeah.
To get on my own good list. And yes, and then it's a democracy. The elves all have a vote. Do I get my PlayStation this year? It happens on the Christmas day. It's quite complicated. It's a thing we don't talk about really.
Yeah.
But it's about how the elves can give back.
But then do you have to kind of deliver it to yourself if it's, or do you have a special person who just delivers a present to you? Like, is there a...
No, I deliver it to myself. Obviously,
right, sure.
I'm the person who delivers the presents. But it's interesting because it sometimes leads to an eternal loop with me going down the chimney and then delivering it to myself and then going down another chimney. It's very complicated. It's probably not worth dwelling on.
Have you ever been stuck in that? Have you ever got stuck in that then and not been able to escape?
Yes. Yeah. During the war, I did. I spent the whole time just being sucked up and down the chimney. On loop. It was very distressing.
Yes.
But fortunately I was popped out just before Christmas.
Yeah.
So it was,
I can hear you. So you got emails. Is that Christmas orders? I'm guessing they don't come in letters anymore.
It is, yes. It's constant. People do it by email now. It's not just and the tricky thing though is of course that they're also trying to email mince pies. Which is messy. Yeah. Very messy indeed.
Do they ever come through? Do they ever arrive as attachments or?
I've got a very special computer, yes, and they do often come through. It just the problem is with these modern laptops is they haven't got a disk drive or anything more, so they just kind of ooze out just the one.
That's really disgusting. Got. Yeah.
Sometimes you'll find a raisin underneath the space bar. It's really it's not nice. It is. I put that on do not disturb. On my computer, I've got my IT elf has just sorted that out.
I mean, again, I wonder, is it time then to change what you, because often, children know to leave you out a mince pie and maybe a whiskey or a glass of milk or whatever. But is it time now to change to something that won't upset your keyboard? Like, would crisps be better if they sent you crisps?
A minced crisp.
A minced crisp, yeah, because then it would just sort of come through as a few crumbs. You kind of tip it out.
You could iron a mince pie flat. Obviously, being careful to when you're playing with children, don't play with irons for goodness sake. Maybe a mangle. Maybe play with one of those.
Mangle, yeah.
Or a lathe. Yeah. And flatten the mince pie as flat as it can go, and then email it.
Yes.
You might have to scan it first.
Yeah, that's it. If the kids got their grown-ups to absolutely incinerate a mince pie till it was just sort of like charcoal, then they could send that, and then it would just come through as like a puff of smoke.
Yeah, which I could just inhale and have a festive coughing fit.
Yeah, so I think that's, yeah. I just wonder if there's ways around it, because I worry about the stickiness of your keyboard, and I worry about, you then trying to send emails or write your own lists, and you're like, it's very hard to do.
One time when emails mince pies first came in, I got I got my fingers stuck to the J and E, and they were stuck for several days. We had a lot of L's on it, trying to just prize them off, and every email I sent just said J-E, 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 sometimes J, and a lot of our suppliers got quite alarmed by it.
Yeah, and did a lot of children end up getting Jeeps? Was that what they got for Christmas that year? Or?
They got G's.
Wow.
J-E. There was no P available. So because all the other keys got pulled off. So it was just, it didn't. It smells absolutely nothing. I mean, some mice were very happy because some of them got E.
Sure.
But the J doesn't add anything.
That is wow, that's really upsetting. This, yeah, again, it's fascinating how many problems you can overcome, and the ones that seem to, really cause issues. I think.
Yes, we're still learning. After doing this for thousands of years, we're still learning. There's still new challenges every day, Tiernan, and it really is. It's a blessing to be in this job.
Yes, and you're dealing with children around the world who change what they like every year. They change what they're interested in. They change how they contact you. They change.
Yes, and sometimes I source far too many. I've still got several billion Care Bears from the 1980s. I really overinvested in those. Yes, and they just fell right off, and no one wanted Care Bears. And so there's a massive cavern underneath the North Pole, absolutely chock full of Care Bears. Some of them talk. If a seal goes in there, they just set them all off, and they're just saying, "I love you, Care Bears." Just this weird, sinister echoing coming up from the case.
That is terrifying.
Lots of bears telling each other how much they love them, which is quite nice, but out of context, quite alarming. If you're, say,
very alarming. Yeah, absolutely. But I was going to say, I don't know what else you could do with them though. No one wants them anymore. No one really wants a Care Bear.
I mean, don't tell them that; they'll get very upset. But yes, no, we've tried using them for insulation when we've been making cabins. But then they've all got these little chips that talk, and then the walls start talking and telling you how much they love you. And it's concerning, especially if you don't know that they're there.
Yes, there must be a lot of problems. Are there any other toys that you've sort of struggled to get rid of over the years?
Well, we've tin soldiers. We got a lot of those, but we can recycle those into tins and soldiers. And also Furbies. We have a lot of those. Tamagotchis. But I don't think of more recent ones. Mario Galaxy 2.
Oh, really?
A lot of those couldn't shift them. Yeah.
Wow, I'm quite surprised.
Very successful franchise. Just didn't shift.
I'm very surprised by that. Very surprised. There must be like a whole load of, because when you started doing this was many years ago, there must have been ones that kids wanted back in the, ancient times, and now you're like, what do I do? Like I bet there were children that asked for like a scythe or something, and you can't do anything with that.
Yeah. I mean, yes, with the scythes were very big in the 1740s. Everybody it was one of those ones that sold out everywhere. I want a scythe, mummy. I want a scythe, mummy. Why do you want a scythe? Because I want to make that grass over there shorter. Simpler times. But yes, we got a lot of scythes, and now I've made a throne out of them, rather like Game of Thrones. But I keep that in a locked room because it's a bit off-brand.
Yeah, quite painful to sit on. I thought.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. Well, thank you again for being on the show. And listen, I've got loads of questions that have been sent in, just especially for this episode, especially for you to answer. But before we get there, I've got to ask you, like I ask all our guests. Firstly, this is an audio podcast. It's for children to hear with their ears. I know you're aware children have ears. Some of them listen to things with their bums, with their knees, but it's mostly ears. And just because it's an audio podcast, I wondered if you could give us a favourite sound.
Well, there's obviously
not that one. No, because,
I forgot. I wasn't supposed to say that again.
I really don't know how I'm going to afford this. Sure.
Okay. The crisp crunch of snow.
Oh,
that's my favorite, which I haven't got any on me because I'm inside. But it's kind of.
That's nice.
Favorite.
That's very nice, and that doesn't get boring when you live in a place that's always got snow.
No, but I mean sometimes it always mixes it up. You get the noise, but then you get the whoa when someone falls over because it's very icy snow. So it's a noise that keeps on giving.
That is lovely. The crisp crunch of snow. Do you also like the snow crunch of crisps?
Yes, very much so. Depending on the flavour.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Well, that's a lovely, good choice of noise.
I tried penguin flavoured crisps.
I haven't tried penguin flavoured. I can't quite imagine what that would. I mean, I've never eaten a penguin. Is it?
Oh no, it's not the animal, the penguin. I'm not a monster. It tastes like a chocolate biscuit.
Oh, I see. So crisps that taste like chocolate biscuits. That doesn't sound.
Yeah.
I don't know how that is. That nice?
Yes.
Right.
It's got crisps and chocolate biscuits, two of the nicest things in the world. Put them together, It's a crisp that tastes like a chocolate biscuit, or a chocolate biscuit that tastes like a crisp.
Yeah, I could see that somehow more. I mean, there's a whole load of Christmas flavoured crisps, and I didn't think you had anything to do with those, but I've seen them before as like candy flavoured crisps, or or there's some weird flavours. Is that your doing?
Oh no, that's not mine. I just experiment in the kitchen. I'm a bit like Heston Blumenthal in the kitchen. I just do it for my own entertainment and for our Christmas parties, which we have not had this year.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. No, you're not. Yeah, not allowed this year because of the restrictions. I hope no photos sort of emerge of.
No. It's occurring to me, of course, that there's someone else that started talking like me recently, and I don't appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes, a very rude. Well, no, they haven't done the laugh yet. So maybe just hope that
which
comes.
Laugh?
The laugh. The one.
Sorry, which laugh?
The laugh. I'm not going to say. I don't want to pay any more.
Oh,
no, not that
one.
yet. Yeah, look, what I was meaning is maybe if that person says that, you can invoice them, and that at least.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
Yeah,
Yes,
it would be very good.
yes.
Right, I've got to be so careful talking to you, haven't I? Right, well, look. Okay, thank you. That was a lovely sound. And I wondered as well. You are a family-friendly person. So
Yes.
you know this show is family-friendly. It's suitable for everyone of all ages. Give me an age.
14.
Yeah, suitable for 14. Give me another age.
78.
Yes, also it's basically suitable for any age you can imagine. If you can imagine
Any
it,
age.
this podcast.
6.5.
Yeah, also that one. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
12.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah, so yeah.
-4.
Yeah, also yeah. I mean, it's tricky because they find it harder to access podcasts on the apps and not really design. But yeah, they do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So. What I'm saying is this show is suitable for everyone of all possible ages that you can possibly imagine. So I just want to make sure that it's going to be a family-friendly chat, and I wanted to know if there are any rude words you are not going to be saying.
Well, I mean, the rudest word that is banned, frankly, up here at the North Pole is particularly rude sort of bauble called a baurbum.
A baurbum?
It's a baurbum. It's bum-shaped baubles that elves sometimes put on Christmas trees, and they smell. It's ghastly. I don't want to see or hear anything about baurbums at any point during this podcast.
Baurbums. Well, and they just sort of do the elves just hang them on a tree here and there to as like a mischievous kind of prank, or?
I every so often around April Fool's time, because obviously the North Pole is constantly decorated for Christmas. They just totally cover one of the Christmas trees in tiny bums. It's like being mooned by a whole tree. It's really quite horrific, and
wow.
I don't recommend it to anyone, and I don't think anyone should start making and selling baurbums at a great profit.
No. I mean that is the thing. Do you suffer? I mean, I need to come to the questions in a second, but I just wondered because what a lot of children know Christmas for presents, know Christmas for the tree, know Christmas for the important bits. They also know Christmas for incredibly lengthy, quite smelly farts, which tend to happen after we eat Christmas dinner. Is that does your home just always smell of those?
You'll get used to it after a while, but especially on Christmas Eve, after traveling all around the world in an open-top sleigh, you then come home to what is effectively like a massive duvet that someone's been.
Yeah. Wow. That's horrendous.
Yep. You effectively come out to what is basically a massive duvet that lots of people, including elves, who have got a very strange diet involving a lot of fish, have been farting into for the best part of 365 days.
Wow.
And the stench of that is staggering.
Yeah.
But the rest of the year, I'm totally used to it.
Yes, yeah, I bet. And fish and probably candy canes, isn't it? That's a really weird mixture.
Yes.
Gosh, how grim. Well, thank you for not saying baurbums. I won't say baurbums as well, and hopefully no one here will mention baurbums whatsoever during the course of this show. And now, listen, the important bit, the bit I've had these questions sent in, loads of questions actually, and the first one is from. I mean, you're going to know all of these children that have sent these in. I think you probably delivered things soon. You probably got them on your list. Maybe I should. Is it rude of me to ask you if they'd be naughty or nice each time I Are you allowed to say?
Yeah, depending on how naughty or how nice. If there's any criminal proceedings going on, I will plead the fifth.
Okay.
But yes, I will. I can tell you naughty, nice, and you'll find out.
Okay, right. Well, let's try. Okay, so the first one is from definitely not Linda, age 34, Mouldy Breads. Do you know them?
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, naughty.
Oh.
I'm sorry to tell you, definitely not Linda. Naughty Breads.
That's a shame.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Well, they've at least asked that maybe they can get their question answered. That'll be something to kind of balance out. What do they get this year if they've been naughty? What's the
We obviously traditionally it was coal, but obviously since global warming, that's no. So now it's just a scrunched up bit of lint from my belly button.
Oh wow, that's great.
Blue. It's blue. I only wear red, but it's always blue.
That's so weird.
Yeah. So you get his belly button fluff. But I have an enormous belly button, so there's no shortage.
Right. Wow. That's really horrible. Good. So what?
I'll smell the farts as well.
Yeah, that's of elf farts. Yeah, I'd have thought so. It's worse than coal. I'd have thought probably as bad for the planet as well with all the methane and. Anyway, so right. Look,
well, that's what the duvet's for.
Oh, of course. Yes, it makes sense.
Holds it in.
Makes sense. Yeah, like a sort of like an ozone of So definitely not Linda has sent in. My question is, how does Santa drop of all? I think. Hang on. How does Santa drop of all the presents? I'm reading this as it's been sent in. How does Santa drop of all the presents if the fireplace is on?
Right. Well, I have fire-resistant legs. That's how it works. I've over years I've developed them. Initially, we did it with a spray, but yeah, I'm mainly fire retardant. And my suit is fire retardant, so I can land on the thing and I won't go up in flames. It is incredibly painful though. Every single lit fire is the trauma is. Anyway, but it's for the children. I do it for the children, and yes, and I often have to change my trousers after a lit fire place because of from scorches from inside and out.
How do the presents survive?
Well, they come in fire. Masaki's fire retardant as well. I've also got a fire extinguisher that I can put it out if it goes up, and I've hastily rewrapped them. That's sometimes why if you've got different, you've got a pile of presents. Sometimes they'll be wrapped differently, but they're all from me but those ones were quite severely fire damaged. Sure,
that makes sense. And I had to rewrap them. I mean, well, I've got a few questions. The first one is, there's different types of fireplaces. I mean, we don't have a. Where I am, we don't have a fire. We've got a fireplace, but it's full of recipe books actually at the moment. So, does that make it easier for you, or do you then sort of bash your knees on?
I find it very distracting. That's the thing, especially if they've got anything by Nigella.
Yeah,
I'll be sat there on your fireplace in inverted commas, just flicking through, trying to just see what sort of eggnog she's making this year.
Yeah,
she really is a delight.
Yes,
to read.
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid we've got two, so maybe you won't deliver anything to us this year. You'll be too busy. Yeah. I was going to say electric fireplace. I guess it's the same sort of thing, and then. Yeah, are there any sort of fireplace that you can't deal with?
I find it tricky with these new wood burning stoves because they make the chimney thinner and it's in the pipe, and then you're in this box and like bang 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 and try to get out the box if they've shut the door from the outside, which you should to stop the sparks coming out. You're stuck inside for a while, and I have to get some lock picking equipment to get out of that. And then basically all of my clothes will be very hot, and I'll have to change them all, and some of the clothes will get singed. So but sometimes it can be quite fun if someone walks in on you while you're coming down the chimney into a log burning stove. You look like you're on telly.
Yes.
And so instead of people thinking, "Oh my goodness, I've seen the real Father Christmas," they've said, "Oh, they're showing Raymond Briggs's The Fireman Christmas."
Yes,
film.
The Father Christmas is on Fire. That lovely. That is. I mean, one of the more traumatic children's films, but it's still
yes. Where there's a nuclear explosion.
Yeah, it's very worrying, but enjoyable, really enjoyable. One of the classics. Yeah. And what about when there's somewhere when kids don't have when kids live somewhere without fireplaces? There's a lot of places that don't have fireplaces. Some that don't have it built in, some that don't need them, and are not a warmer climate. What do you do
But
then?
I can get in an air brick. I can get in
Oh.
through a letterbox. I can get in through an Ethernet cable.
wow.
Wi-Fi. Yes, I can put myself across Wi-Fi now. It's all very modern. It's all very clever. The elves have made it all possible. I'm downloadable. I come on an app.
Oh, sure.
Yes,
yeah.
it's amazing what they can do with technology.
Why
today.
do you still bother with fireplaces? Why don't you just always do?
I just like them.
Right.
I've spent a lot of money on fire retardant festive outfits, and I'm going to get my money's worth out of them.
That's what. When do you think that will be? What sort of year will you have paid?
24,809.
Oh wow, you've got quite a way to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what that number means.
No, neither do I. It's big.
When is that? I mean, that could be next week. That could be in a million years' time. I don't know.
Well, I guess you'll find out sort of when it's.
But that's the calculations.
Yeah.
That's what the elves say, and I'm sticking with it.
Who am I to argue? I don't know. I don't know any flame retardant gear.
Tiernan, do you? Tiernan, do you?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I am. That's And have I been naughty or nice? Should I ask? Or maybe I shouldn't ask it. No, maybe should I save that?
You can't ask directly. You can't ask directly.
Sure. Cool. I won't.
Yeah, it has to be done via a list order. Yeah.
Fair enough. Absolutely fair. Look, I shouldn't have. I should have. Yeah, I should have known not to ask. I'm very sorry. Right. Well. Okay. Well, that's the answer for definitely not Linda, and I hope that definitely not whoever they are is very happy with that. Question 2 has been sent by Festive Banjo, aged 101 cheeses. Do you know Festive Banjo?
I do. Festive Banjo, lovely child, been good all year. Absolutely brilliant all year, but there's really let the side down this week, so he's teetering on the edge. Actually.
Oh, really? Just one incident. Can that happen?
No, several incidents. She really went crazy. Really quite. I mean, totally out of character, very strange. But hopefully she can pull it round in the last few days. And and she.
Wow, I didn't realise you could do. I thought it was sort of calculated. You'd have to go really big.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can really skew the average if you do some. I mean, she stole a car. I mean, she's 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, where was that from? She was doing incredibly well at school. She's been absolutely delightful to all of her siblings, and then she steals a car and drives it through Waitrose.
Wow. Yeah, but I mean, hey, who hasn't wanted to do that? Who hasn't wanted to drive a car through Waitrose? And it's curious. So you said that she's 8. It says aged 101 cheeses. Is that 8 in a? Is that?
Well, do the math.
Yeah. Hang on.
Tiernan. 101 cheeses. Each cheese is -7. And it all adds up. Why people will do the maths for you?
Sure.
It all adds up.
No, that's just again fascinating things I don't understand. Clearly, you do.
Human years and cheese years, very different.
Yes,
very different.
Yes, dog years somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And on the smelly scale, it goes human years, dog years, cheese years.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, and then sock years.
Level of smelliness of years.
Right. Sure. That makes sense. That makes absolute sense. Yeah. Well, so Festive Banjo.
Elf fart years.
Was that elf fart years? Where they? Right.
Elf fart years. Yeah. I mean, they've got like a half life. They really pong, and it lasts for a very long time.
Yeah. Quite incredible. Just the different scales and charts that you have to keep up with for your job. That rest of us.
It really is.
About, yeah.
Yes. I'm so glad I've got people. And at the end of every single Christmas day, I read out a list of people I have to thank. And the elf fart mathematicians are at the top of the list.
Yeah,
really
I absolutely bet they are. I bet they are. Right, so Festive Banjo's got 2 questions, bit selfish. 2 questions. The first one is, how do the reindeer go so fast? So in fact, 3 questions. How do the reindeer go so fast, and why does Rudolph's nose glow? That is 1 question, apparently. I think it's 2, but, yeah. And the second one is, Oh no, the second one's a joke. Okay, the second one is, you might like this. Also, what do you call a snowman in the summer? A puddle. Wow, that's very good.
Oh, that's very good. Oh, that's oh dear. Oh, this is going to get expensive, Tiernan.
No. Oh no, I shouldn't have. Right, no more jokes. I'm not telling you anymore.
Thank you very much for that.
Not going to read out any more jokes. Yeah, I mean, I assume that's a joke. Is it also? I'm guessing it's factually correct as well, isn't it?
It is also tragically factually accurate. But they say tragedy plus comedy equals maths. No,
elf farts.
Tragedy plus Tim equals I can't remember what the maths. Again, I've got elves to make these calculations.
But I've always wondered that thing of if, like, because a snowman, they're alive when they're kind of frozen and they're a big snowman, then they turn into a puddle. But then if that puddle refreezes, are they then just a really flat snowman? Do they sort of come back and feel a bit, stuck?
Yeah. It doesn't bear thinking about, really. Basically, you've got a sentient puddle there. When it's melted, you've got a flat puddle whose nose is floating about across its entire body. And then when it freezes, you've basically got a plank person, really. And they stay. Sometimes they can get shattered into thousands of pieces. The snowman's lot is not a happy one. Yes, but let's not.
No. It's really
think about
really traumatic. Yeah,
Olaf from Frozen. He's fun, isn't he? He's the one.
Yes,
he's the one that made it all fun. Don't dwell on the.
Yeah, no, sure. No, it's a family friendly podcast. I feel like it's just too much for. Let's not think about it. So let's go back to Festive Banjo's questions.
I'm thinking about it now.
No, don't think about it. Don't. It's quite sad. I don't want to.
Those poor snowmen.
Oh. So and also then children like jump in puddles and you've just. Yeah. Anyway, right. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So here's Festive Banjo's question. First question: how do the reindeer go so fast? How do they do? Farts, right? Yeah. I mean, I thought that was I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? How else are you going to travel that quickly around the world? It's got to be some pretty powerful guffs.
Yeah. It's a big back. We feed them a lot of sprouts, and when we need to press the turbocharge button, and it's racing across the sky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that is, and you've got to be quite careful they don't release it early. And how do you get the farts?
Oh yes, definitely. So if that goes off on the launch pad, then we've got a lot of health and safety issues.
Yeah. That's. I mean, there's a fine art, and obviously you've got it down to a T. And so the second question then is why does Rudolph's nose glow?
Now this is interesting. It's because he's a mouth flyer. He's one of the most. I don't know if you're familiar with reindeer faces, but most reindeers fly with very tightly closed lips, like that. But Rudolph always likes to sing he's constantly flying with his mouth open, and he consumes a lot of bioluminescent insects like fireflies, and they all live in his nose, and that makes it glow red. But it can lead to some trouble having a glowing red object at the front of your body, when traditionally on cars and motorbikes, the red light is on the back. So very often, if we're in traffic, people think that they're following a motorbike, but in fact, there's a sleigh with 12 reindeer bearing down upon them. I mean, we shouldn't be on that side of the road, really, but
sure.
But I like to live dangerously.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm guessing Rudolph needs to be at the front because the glow obviously helps guide you, but also I'm guessing where you're at the back, all the farts would kind of they'd ruin the.
Would kill. Well, the thing is, the farts would overwhelm the bioluminescent glow in his nose. All the insects would be overcome by fumes, and they would stop glowing, and then we wouldn't be able to see the way at night.
It's all very logical. All of this is very logical, I think. People talk about you as being sort of magic, mythical, and but all of this is it's all, as you say, maths and
just science. It's just science, Ted. Science works at the North Pole as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, that was you answered those very succinctly for Festive Banjo. Hopefully they are happy and maybe act a bit nicer for the last few days. And
pull it round, Festive Banjo. Pull it round. You can do it.
They can do it. I believe in you.
You don't want some fart, leaden belly button fluff.
We've got
in your stocking.
Our next few questions. It's quite themed actually. Our next few questions on something we've already been discussing. We've got questions here from Beatrix and her sister Lila. Beatrix hasn't put her age.
Hello.
Lila says she's age 12. So we can just sort of guess Beatrix's age from. She'll be another age, I guess.
By the way, in order of mentions, nice and niche is where they are. The niche is a very specific sort of niceness that gets very sort of quirky presents.
That's very exciting. That's something to look forward to there. Nice.
We've now got a naughty, nice, and niche list.
Right, sure. And is there then further sort of naughty gradients as well? If you can be nice and niche, can you be naughty and like naughty or
Yes, you can be nocti. You can be nokuti. You can be nuti. Is right at the bottom.
Oh wow, yeah. I don't even want to.
And obviously, there's another list for people who live in the French town of Nice.
Of course, yes, that's got to be very
Yes, because
confusing.
they're all niece. Their address is literally niece. So for a long time, due to a communication error, they were behaving appallingly, but they all got push bikes.
Yeah, of course, that's
Yeah.
very tricky.
We found that loophole though, and we sat down.
Good, excellent. Now just endless belly button fluff, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. If you're gonna behave that way, absolutely. Right. Well, we'll go for Beatrix's questions first. And I think you'll like these. So first one is, why don't farts come out as brown scribbles?
Oh, well, sometimes they do. No, they. I mean, we've all depends the colour of your underpants, really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of times people don't fart onto paper, so you don't really know. You don't fart onto a post-it note, do you? So
No.
it's hard to tell.
I mean, but I suppose you've got there's this new game that is available. You might have seen it advertised, where you can play Pictionary, but in the air, using one of these tablet things, where you can draw in the air, and you can draw something in the air that you can't see, but the person with the tablet can see. And I'm trying to work out a way of that working, but with farts.
Right.
So that it would be like a tracer. So like when you're on fireworks night and someone's drawing in the sky with a sparkler, I'm trying to work out a way that farts can draw in the sky, and you can do a little brown picture with your bum dancing about, skipping about, and look, oh, there's his eyes, there's his glowing red nose, but it's brown. Yes, it's something we're working on.
I like it.
We're trying to work out. So a way that farts can come out like scribbles. But then you need an eraser as well. And we haven't worked out the technology to erase farts yet.
Yes, yeah. So loo roll? No, maybe no, because that wouldn't raise the smell.
Oh.
No. I mean, my worry would be is if farts came out of scribbles, you
breeze?
wouldn't be able to blame farts on anyone else because they'd know you did it because you'd have a scribble coming out.
And there would be a telltale trail that would look like a tail.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you ended up, you finished up the scribble with a bit of an arrow pointing at yourself.
Yeah.
Then it was me. It's
So it's probably best
cool
not to. I mean, I blame a lot of my farts on my daughter, so I don't really want to, it to come back to
By the
me.
way, your daughter is actually doing more farts than you think.
Right.
That
explains
strange
a lot,
smell
yeah.
that comes from the kitchen, that's actually her. She just goes there, makes a terrible smell, and runs away giggling.
Yeah, I did. I assumed that was the case. Yeah, that's it's good to have that clarified by you. But
Always one.
But I mean, do you consider that as naughty or nice behavior because it's quite funny?
Yeah, it's funny. Yes. I mean, the thing is, the elves who we have a sort of select committee of elves who sit and judge on these things. They really do prefer your daughter to you.
Sure.
Sorry to tell you that.
No, makes sense.
So anything that your daughter does that makes your life hard, they find very funny.
Yeah.
And she just climbs higher and higher up the nice list, and you're just right at the bottom anyway, because they're not, you're not very popular amongst elves for some reason.
No, that's I've got a long history of. I mean, there's times that I've dressed up as an elf and tried to infiltrate because I'm quite the sort of right height. And I just thought, I fancied a change, to be honest, but they really didn't take to that, and they said that I wasn't.
No, they don't like it at all.
No.
They don't know. No, they don't. It's and they've got very long memories. They're like elephants,
yes,
but smaller.
Yes, yeah, and I think it was sort of the way I tried to do an elf voice, which I think is perhaps quite stereotyped. Said, "Hello, I'm an elf," and they said that wasn't right at all, and. Yeah,
and that's not how they talk.
Yeah, I tried to do sort of elf farts.
Yeah, they didn't like that.
Look, I've got a long history. It's something I don't like to talk about. Actually, I'm quite ashamed of it now. But you can't go back and change the past. So anyway, so that was Beatrix's first question. Second one is why don't farts smell like Christmas trees?
Well, they do if you've got bumbles.
Yes.
Oh, I said it.
I
said bumbles.
You said
no,
it's all right. I'll edit that out. It's fine. I'll edit it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll edit out if you I'll edit out at the cost of one of the things that if you could remove
one of the what?
One of the the words that you say.
Oh
yeah.
Oh no.
No. Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have even. I'm just gonna. Okay, right. So if you've got the word that we can't say, your farts will smell like. I mean, also, I guess you have to eat Christmas trees to have farts that smell like Christmas trees.
Yes, I mean the thing is those the animals that they when at the end of Christmas when you're recycling your Christmas tree to be made into mulch to be fertilizer, the animals that they feed the Christmas trees into, their farts do a smell of. They look like machines, but they're actually a breed of dog that eats Christmas trees and poos out mulch, and their farts really do smell of Bruce Fur.
Wow, which is quite.
Who is an elf, by the way,
Right.
Bruce Fur.
I did wonder if he was. Yeah, I did think I'd heard that name before, but quite a famous elf.
Yeah. But he smells particularly of Christmas tree. He just lets off the aura of Christmas tree smells, and that's why they've named several Christmas trees after him.
That absolutely makes sense. Because the next question is, as I said, all of these are quite themed. So Beatrix then says, "Have you ever had a Christmas tree that smells like farts?" Obviously, if they've got those awful baubles that we mentioned,
don't mention those again.
Yeah, but there aren't any that naturally smell like farts, are there? I don't think there's any.
No, I don't think so. There's no. It depends what you plant them in, of course.
Yeah.
Sometimes we started a Christmas tree forest on a massive pile of reindeer guano, and those absolutely stank.
Sure.
But we just stopped doing that because it was revolting.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because also make it tricky. Sometimes you get air fresheners that are like pine fresh, but if the pines smelt of farts, they would be the worst air fresheners. They'd be awful.
Yeah, but I mean, we did for a while have after the reindeer poo Christmas tree forest incident, we produced some of those air fresheners that smelled of Christmassy farts. Which if in the middle, if you're having a tough time in the middle of June, and you think, oh, I'm trying to remember a happier time, and then you a waft of sprouty butt duffs comes across you, then it takes you back to happier times before you're sick.
That is lovely. I think you should definitely start dropping those off as well as the presents. I think there'd be a real call for that.
Yes, dropping them is what we're doing.
Yes, absolutely, dropping those pine bombs. And the last question for Beatrix is: have you ever kept a Christmas tree as a pet?
I have. Yes, it was a very small Christmas tree. It's one of the tiniest Christmas trees I'd ever seen. But it turned out it was an ant in the end. I thought it was a Christmas tree, but it was an ant.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, they look quite different, though, don't they?
Yeah, it was a silly mistake to have made.
Right, sure,
it was.
Sure, yeah. Is it because I thought Christmas trees are quite hard to keep as pets? Because it's difficult when you have like a dog or a cat, and you got to check their fur's all right and comb and all that. But a Christmas tree, you'd comb it, and all the pines would fall off, and it'd be rubbish.
And the other thing, is when you do have a Christmas tree as a pet, because I know I've got friends who have. How do you play fetch with them? Because if you get a stick, then that's quite offensive if you're a Christmas tree. Yeah. Why don't you go and fetch the severed limb of your uncle? Oh, ghastly thing to do. It's really not. They're not for captivity.
No, do you have to throw a dog at them? Is that you throw a dog and then
maybe that's what you should do. But then of course dogs can do terrible things to trees.
Yeah.
Yellow snow, all that. Don't want that. Not round your roof.
And how do you walk? No. You can't really take a tree for a walk either.
No, you can roll it, but because it's conical, it goes in a circle and it rolls round, and then it comes and hits you in the bum, and they're quite pointy.
Yeah, awful pets. I think.
Don't keep Christmas. One of the only pets that are for Christmas and not for life.
Yes, absolutely true. Very wise words, as they all have been so far. Wow, that was amazing. Well, that's all the Beatrix questions. And Lila, age 12, who's been niche this year, as we know, she has asked. Yes. This is quite a big ask, actually. Can you make up a song about a farting Christmas hot dog?
Okay. Dashing through the kitchen on a great big line of ketchup, going to the hot dog buns. Then you are going to catch up with the hot dog buns. Then you do. Was it farting?
Yeah.
Was it farting? Was it a farting?
Yeah.
Of course it was. What am I thinking? Then you do a fart like a tiny dog, and then you sometimes follow through and do a festive log. There we are.
Oh, beautiful!
Thank you.
Very. I mean, that was one. Yeah. Well, that was very impressive. I didn't. It's a hard question to ask that, and absolutely spot on, incredible.
I've still got it.
Still got it. Thank you. Well, thank you for that. That was beautiful, and hopefully the Christmas number 1. If we can get this released,
or Christmas number 2,
or more likely Christmas number 2. Absolutely, yes. Right. We've got 2 more questions for you. So we'll try and be. I know, obviously, you got a busy schedule to get back to, so we'll try and be quick with these. This is from Charlotte Watermelon emoji from the United States. Right. I mean, they have some interesting surnames there.
Good. She's been good. She's been good all year, solidly good. She's a keeper.
Wow. Yes. Well done, Charlotte Watermelon emoji. And she has sent a farting Santa emoji and said, "Hello, it is me again." It's her again.
Hello
yeah,
again.
And I have a question. What do you want for Christmas?
Oh, Charlotte Watermelon emoji. You are such a good little girl. That's so kind of you. For Christmas, I would like an otter.
Ah.
A little otter to just potter about after me, just lie on their back in the bath and go eek, 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 and swimming around. I just like to be followed around by an otter.
It's an otter to potter. It's nice. Would you what would you call it?
Clive the otter.
It's a good name. Good name. Clive's a good name for.
Or if I was going for a pun, Ray Lee Otter.
Oh, that's good as well. Yeah. Panic.
One for the kids.
Panic Otter.
Panic Otter. If it was a worried one, I mean, I'd name it depending on its personality.
Sure.
I could call it Harry Otter.
Yeah, of course.
If it wore glasses and was magical.
Yes.
And was in a duel to death with a dark wizard.
I mean,
you never know. You don't know what your otter's going to be like until it turns up.
No, that is true. Have you had an otter before? Is this something a new thing that you'd like, or is this?
I thought I was getting an otter, but I was missold, and it turned out to be a beaver. Who are delightful company, but not great if you live in a log cabin.
Of course, and all the
like
Christmas trees, obviously, just would be.
Yeah. I mean, basically, it was one year when I was hanging out with beavers, where basically the entire to the North Pole ended up just as a big old pile of mulch. Which is very good for the begonias, but not great for keeping dry or running an international toy delivery business.
Of course,
when everything's been eaten by beavers.
You read how much luck with pets. You had the tree that turned out to be an ant. You had the otter that turned out to be a beaver. I mean, this is it must be upsetting. You get everyone what they want for Christmas. No one can seem to get you what you want as a pet.
I mean, it's my own fault. I don't look very carefully. I'm after Christmas Eve, of course, I'm absolutely shattered. And for basically most of the rest of the year, I'm just lying in the dark going, oh, I'm tired. And someone says, "Hey, do you want a Christmas tree as a pet?" And I go, "Oh yeah, sure." You put it in the corner, and it's an ant. I should have asked more questions. Similarly, hey, Father Christmas, I know it's July and you're very tired, but can my otter come and hang out with you? And I go, "Yeah, brilliant, bring it in." And it's a beaver and it eats my house.
So it's just so sad that people pray.
Attention to detail. That's the thing. I could do it at Christmas. It's the rest of the year that it all falls apart.
Yeah, but it's understandable. It's just cruel that these mean pet sellers, fake pet sellers, target you in your downtime.
We are absolutely inundated with incorrectly labeled pet sellers at the North Pole. All the rest of the year is just constantly. I got sold a beagle that was an eagle. I got sold a dromedary that was just a pile of logs.
Oh wow! Oh, that's wow! That is really awful. That is awful. It's just I didn't realise there was such a problem with it in the North Pole, but I guess every area's got their own issues, hasn't it? And that's
yeah. I mean, we're blighted by the fake pet sellers. We really are.
Really cruel. Wow. Right. Well, we've got the final question here, which this is from Mark, and I'm pretty sure this is a Christmas.
Mark, by the way, has been good all year. Well done, Mark. It's one of the best performing Marks in the entire world.
Wow. Okay.
He's doing very well. I can't see what he could possibly do to get knocked off the top of that list. He's an incredibly good child. But with the name of a 48-year-old man.
He's one of the best performing Marks. So he's done better than sort of like Mark Ruffalo, who's in a lot of films and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Ruffalo as a which also I asked for a buffalo one year and I got given Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, that's
who was,
yeah.
yeah.
Must have really ruined his filming schedule as well. But yeah,
And Mark Ruffalo, I think, has had an amazing career, but it's still not one of the best Marks. I mean, he's one of the only people that's gone from a Julia Donaldson picture book to playing the Hulk.
yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, he has done very, very well. Seems quite a natural sort of trajectory. One,
especially for an actor that's got a wart on the end of his nose. And is easily scared by mice. It's amazing that he's graduated to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes. I mean, and he used to live in an area quite like yours, didn't he? A sort of snowy, woody area, and now he's
forestry.
now gone to LA, so it's
hang out with foxes.
It's amazing.
And everything he said for years was in rhyming couplets, written by Julia Donaldson, and now he can deliver any sort of dialogue, so long as it's in the form of Bruce Banner.
It's very impressive. I think we should all be
Or Hulk.
But obviously, he's not done as well as this Mark. He's even better than a Mark on a Mark on a
Mark.
wall.
Oh, I can't praise Mark enough. He's seriously the top. I can't see. He's got an unassailable lead of all the Marks as far as
even Denmark.
Niceness. Yes, Denmark. He's all the Marks in Denmark. Ironically, because of course Denmark was formed when Dirty Den off EastEnders teamed up with someone called Mark.
Yes,
there's lots of Marks in Denmark, but this Mark is outperforming all of them. It's amazing. I can't see a thing that they could do that could put them anywhere near them.
Well, then I'm very excited to read you Mark's question. That I'm sure is. I mean, Mark sent this in after I asked 4 Christmas questions for his episode, and he sent this email in. So I assume this is a Christmas question, and
beautiful Christmas question.
Yeah.
To finish off with the big Christmas question.
So Mark has asked, what would happen if can peed poo?
What?
I'm just reading it as it's been written. What would happen if can peed poo?
Oh my. Peed poo.
Yes, peed poo. But if can peed poo, yeah.
Oh dear, Mark. I've never been so disappointed in a human being in all my life. He's straight on the naughty list. That's what's happened there. He's managed to undo years of hard work. He's tumbling down past Mark Ruffalo, Marky Mark, Mark, my friend Mark. And now he's on the naughty list. That is something. A can peeing poo is something you don't want to think about.
You don't think about what if can peed poo?
Yeah, no. I mean, it refers back to the question of what if farts came out as scribbles, but it does it in a much more graphic way that we don't need to think about.
Wow. Okay. I didn't think there'd be anything that would. You're such a worldly figure. You've seen everything. You've been everywhere. I didn't think we'd be able to upset you with a question like that. But so it's
no. I mean that makes you think of brown propelling pencils. It's horrible.
Wow. It's really grim. I mean, I don't know why Mark sent that in.
I mean, Mark is. I mean, he's a disgrace to Marks.
Wow.
He's a black. We're putting a black mark against Mark.
Wow. Would you go for it? Is he a skid mark? Is that too far?
He could be. Yeah. I mean, yes. Oh.
Wow, poor Mark. Well, I'm sorry, Mark. I don't know if you knew quite how upset that your question would make Father Christmas, but it's
What would happen if can peed poo? I mean, what sort of a mind thinks of that?
Well, Mark's mind, yeah.
Mark's mind, yes. Now we've
What can I ask? What were you gonna when he'd been super good? What was he gonna get?
I was going to give him Wales.
Wow.
I was going to give him Wales and everybody in it to be his to do with what he will, what he wilt. He was going to get Wales, and everybody in Wales was going to carry him around Wales, going, "Oh, it's Mark, the best Mark ever." And now I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Wow. I don't think I've got enough guff-infused belly button fluff to punish that heinous crime.
Well, I'm sorry, Mark, and you don't even really get an answer to your question. You don't even know what would happen.
Well, I mean, it's one of the unanswerable questions. Right. It really is.
Sure. Yeah, this does happen. Well, sad note to end it on. I mean, that's our last question. I was kind of hoping, it got nicer and nicer and then more and more exciting. And Now we sort of ended on quite a
I mean,
tragic
it does
note.
feel like a bit of a bum note, so to speak.
Yes,
to finish on. So we try and jolly it up a bit. I mean, I could always throw in my my catchphrase if you want.
No. I'm
One
all
more.
right. No.
Catchphrase. You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh,
yeah.
sure. Come on.
No, because
Come on.
I can't.
Just one more.
No, because I really don't have the. I mean,
Ho!
I'm going to have to put this on a credit card.
Ho!
No. Oh.
Ho!
Yeah, that's really. I don't.
Oh, yeah. Let's forget about Mark and his crimes.
Okay.
Let's just think about the lovely, joyous things of Christmas and presents and baubles and bumbles. Why did I?
The Christmas.
I said bumbles.
Well, look. I'm going to
No.
leave. I can't really afford to have this conversation go on any longer. Just in case I'm very worried actually about my bank account now. But look, thank you for having time in the busy schedule. I'm guessing the rest of normal rest of the day ahead. Is it just sort of making more toys and finding out who's naughty and nice?
Making more toys. I usually about midday. I have a break and do some Pilates, but it's mainly toy manufacturing, wrapping and Pilates and.
You mean rapping like sort of hip hop,
some...
like rap it? Like you have to deliver some rhymes and.
What?
When you do the rapping, is it like sort of?
Oh yes. I do some rapping. It's a bit embarrassing about my age, rapping. But you've got to. I rap out the paper, and it goes. Oh, please stop! I'll rap myself, and they rap.
My
themselves.
name's Santa
Yes,
Claus, and I have to say, I go everywhere on a sleigh. Is it that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
It's quite terrible,
That's it. I just do that on a loop
Yeah.
for ages.
Wow. Well, listen. Good luck for this year. I know you're gonna. I mean, I don't know if you really need luck anymore to carry. You've done so many of these now. It's second nature.
Never get complacent, Tiernan. Never get complacent. Always reach for the skies. Always, and literally reach for the skies. Especially if you're a flying reindeer. I never think that I'm going to nail this Christmas. I always think this is mine to lose. Frankly, I've got to give it my all every single time.
Well,
yeah.
Very glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. And we're good luck. Well, then in which case, good luck. Good luck for that. Good luck with the extreme yogurt shouting. I hope you kind of get to the next level with that. Good luck returning to the massive fart duvet on Christmas Day, which sounds horrendous. Good luck getting your otter. I hope someone actually gets you an otter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm not tricked again with just a very long cat that someone's stuck like a chopped up yogurt carton to look like big teeth. It's the fake otters that hurt the most. It really is.
That's what a line to end this on. Thank you so much, Father Christmas, and have a lovely Christmas.
And to you, Tiernan Duyeb. And may I just say,
no,
for one last time,
please don't. No.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas.
Awful. Absolutely just awful.
But Santa Claus has decided not to come here this year.
Many thanks to Father Christmas, old Nicky McNickaroo, for taking the time out of his very busy schedule to cost me quite so much money, actually, for saying ho, ho, ho. Yeah, great. Just what I needed before Christmas. Thanks, Santa. Well, I suppose he does give away a lot of presents every year and has to sort of finance it somehow, as he said. But I mean, really, that is so expensive. Anyway, I hope he answered all your questions to your satisfaction. And if not, why not just ask him those questions again on Christmas Eve when he pops by? You could leave him a note, or you could ensnare him in a trap and then fire questions at him like a secret agent might. Actually, note is probably best just to be safe. But if you fancy it, I reckon some sort of net might work. I'm just suggesting. Anyway, don't forget, if you've got other questions for this show and for guests in 2022, which I'm excited about that year because it sounds a bit like an owl having a great time, doesn't it? 2022! He's a happy hour. 2022 is brilliant. Then do get your Windy Krampus knees, grown-ups, to help you. Email us at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. Also, if those very same grown-ups fancy buying us a Christmassy hot chocolate or melted reindeer or 12, then they can do that at ko-fi.com/Comedy Club 4 Kids or at the Acast supporter page for this show. And don't forget to check our website at comedyclub4kids.co.uk for all of our real live shows that will very hopefully be happening next year. Fingers crossed. I hope you all have very lovely holiday times, and may your Christmases be smelly and bright. Bye! You have been listening to
Comedy Club for Kids presents Christmas radio nonsense. Christmas radio nonsense.
Christmas radio nonsense. Christmas radio nonsense. Christmas radio nonsense. It's the end.